there isn't, then counsel, you can share who's the author of the statement.
This is Sandy Arnold, and she's Deputy Wyatt Mazur's mother.
Thank you.
Dear Jenna, I sit here writing this letter with the greatest hole in my heart and soul that a mother could ever have. The choices you made May 18th, 2020 resulted in the death of my beautiful son, Wyatt Mazur. You have destroyed our family and taken the most caring, selfless soul this world ever knew. His daughter will never know her father. She will never get to go to father-daughter dances, have him teach her to ride a bike or to drive. She will not have him to walk her down the aisle at her wedding. She was just 8 months old when he died. She does not have any of her own memories of her father. All she will ever have is the photos, videos, and stories of others. She has been robbed of a father by you and by your choices. His wife lost her husband and best friend, her one true partner, the person she could lean on the most. She became a widow and a single mother because of you and your choices that night. I watched her struggle and fight to figure out how to live without Wyatt. She does not get to grow old with Wyatt, have more children with Wyatt, or watch grandchildren with Wyatt. Again, because of you and your choices. As for me, your choices took my son, half my heart and soul. You have robbed me from watching my son be the incredible father he was. I do not get to see him play with his daughter. I have to try to explain to a 3-year-old that her father is in heaven instead of here on earth where he should be, all because of you and your choices. I am appalled that you have not taken one bit of responsibility for his death. Your actions caused this whole event to happen. All you have done is worried about you and what you can get for yourself. Never once have you asked about our family and how we are coping. Never once have you said you were sorry for the choices you made that night. I know your child passed away, and for that I am truly sorry. But at least you got to be with him in his last minutes to say goodbye. Our family was not afforded a goodbye because of you and your choices. For the last 2.5 years, I have tried to learn to live without my child, and I still have no idea how. I do blame you for his death because you are responsible. I refuse to hate you because I will not let you have that power over me. I have, however, will never forgive you for what you have done. I do not want to hear about your addiction or your mental health problems because you have choices. You have a choice to treat both of them and do the right thing, but you have always chosen to do wrong. You have terrorized my family with what you have done, and I do not believe that you were sentenced to what you deserve to be sentenced to today. You get out of jail and get to leave this community, but I hope for what you have done, why its face crosses your mind every day. I hope every one of those thoughts is painful and reminds you, Jenna Holm, you are responsible for the death of Deputy Wyatt Mazur.
Thank you, counsel.
Now it'd be Chris Mazur, who's on Zoom.
All right, Mr. Mazur, this is Judge Watkins, and I'll just check to make sure you can hear me.
Yes, I can.
And we can you as well. And so now I would invite you to make your statement.
In the morning of May 18th, 2020, will ever forever haunt me and my family. From the first call that morning that Wyatt had been in an accident to the heartbreaking call that his wife Paige was forced to make to tell me that my beautiful son was no longer with us. At the time, we did not know what had taken place, just that now and forever we would all be forced to go on living with a gigantic hole in our lives. That all the plans, hopes, and dreams that Wyatt and Paige had for their lives were no more. That his 9-month-old baby girl, his pride and joy, would never know her daddy. That we, as parents, would never again hear him say, "I love you." We don't get to watch him be a father, a husband, or a brother. We don't get to pick up the phone and talk. We just have his memory. Because we miss him every day, every holiday. Wyatt was truly one of a kind. He always wanted to help, and he always wanted to do the right thing. He was proud of what he was doing, and he was doing it for the right reasons. It was to help people. There was proof of that in how he handled himself and the self-control he showed that early morning hours. And that is the reason that you, Jenna, are alive. It was because he did have that, and he was doing it for the right reasons. He recognized who you were and the issues you had. You were the catalyst to his death, though, because of your decisions. Your addictions, they put him in that place at that time because you have refused to change yourself your entire life. You have no idea what your actions have caused this family, and you have taken zero responsibility for your actions, and it is heartbreaking. You and your attorneys have drugged this out for over 2 years. That has just caused more pain and frustration for everyone in our family, and you show no remorse. Even when you were bailed out of jail, you showed no remorse as you went back to using drugs again instead of changing your life for the better, of getting the help that you need. And I truly pray that you and your actions do not hurt anyone else. Wyatt had a belief that officers of the law should be held to a higher standard. He said that if I'm going to uphold the law, I need to follow it. I just hope that someday Sergeant Randy Flegel will be held to account for his part in Wyatt's death as well. I have no idea why this has not been done. If Wyatt were a civilian, would he be held to account? If it was a civilian that hit him, would they have been held to account? All questions that no one seems to want to answer, and I don't know why. Why are you out living your life with no consequences for your negligent actions when we have to live every day with the pain of losing Wyatt? You will never understand how we feel. We haven't even heard, and I'm sorry. But I pray that God gives this family strength to continue through life without Wyatt the best way we can. And I pray that God gives all of you strength to choose to do the right thing, even though it will be hard. And I pray the name that Wyatt Christopher Macer is forever remembered by all. Thank you.
Thank you.
May 18, 2020 was the worst day of my life. I woke up to a knock on my front door that no one should ever have to get. And it was a sheriff's deputy telling me my husband had been in an accident. After waiting months to find out the details of what actually happened that night after the investigation was released, I have come to direct my blame at 3 people. Jenna Holm is one of those people. If Miss Holm had chosen not to partake in illegal drugs that morning, my husband would still be alive. If she had chosen to listen to the commands of law enforcement officers that morning, my husband would still be alive. There were many other mistakes made that day, and so far, Ms. Holm has taken responsibility for none of them. It makes me sick. White Knight's daughter was 9 months old when he was killed. She will only be able to know who he was through pictures and the memories that I and others have. And now when she asks me what happened to her daddy, I have to say that absolutely no one was held responsible and that there was no justice served to honor Wyatt's memory. To have this drug out over 2 years has been absolutely excruciating. The only thing Ms. Holm has lost is a small amount of her personal freedom. I have lost my partner, the father of my child, my support system, and a piece of my heart that I will never get back. Not only that, but I lost our future together and being able to see him be a father to my daughter. Wyatt was an amazing father. He missed our daughter's first steps, her first birthday, and so much more. This is not closure. Getting 2 misdemeanors and time served is in no way capable of counting for the part that Ms. Holm played in my husband's death. And having the actual person that killed my husband, Sergeant Flagle, not have a single repercussion and still be able to put on the same uniform that my husband is buried in and continue to work for the sheriff's office is appalling to me. I have not been able to fully grieve my husband's death because of this. To say that Ms. Holm's actions impacted me is an understatement. Her actions that day impacted everyone who knew and loved Wyatt, and all of us now have to try and figure out how to live without him.